Hello everyone, welcome to a very special episode of Stockbridge Sketchworks. We are doing something really rather unique today. I'm not going to be sketching anything. In fact, I'm going to be putting something together. Essentially, I'm going to be kit bashing an image for a good friend of mine. Now, her face, when I get to it, will be blurred upon her request. So basically, I wanted to show you how I put her request together. Now, she asked me to do a shot which is similar to this dark ray picture that I found on the bottom left-hand side of the actual canvas. I found this after a bit of digging, and she expressed that she wanted something similar to this. The image on the bottom right is literally an image that I found which gave me the sense of the form that I wanted to replicate. Now, her suit was based on her request, which I had to track down, and I discovered that it is from the game Jedi Fallen Order, and this is the main character's costume. I think it's his main costume. And so I've brought in some concept art, and I've decided to use this as a base to kit bash everything together. So let me start with the main body. So as you can see straight away, I modified the body. And the trick of doing this is really very simple. It's in the liquefy filter effect. Liquefy is such a powerful and, dare I say it, possibly underrated tool, and it can allow you to do some really creative things. So using that as a base, now I go on and I add certain pieces. So I'm not really overly happy with the armor piece at the top here, so I added in my own. Now this is from another source image, but we're not going to worry about where all of these bits have come from. The left arm and the right arm, keeping in accordance with the requested pose, like this. And the original glove, the original glove here really wasn't suitable for the character, so I added in my own glove and sort of recolored it, changed the brightness and the contrast, sort of gave it a little bit of a tweak. And I wanted something here. I didn't feel like this was complete, so I added in a sash element, which I thought really kind of added to the outfit. So, face and the hair pieces. So the hair, there's two hair pieces essentially. One up here, one down there. And this adds another dimension to the picture. And a lot can be expressed through hair. Hair is a very powerful medium, and if you go for the right look, then you can really get a nice, interesting effect. I had to sort of rebuild the neck. It looks a little strange because the face is blurred, so I'll leave that out. Okay, so there had to be some face shading going in. You can't see that. Next up was the saber, and she wanted a particularly unique looking saber. I haven't seen this style of saber before. I assume it's rather unique because I've not really seen it. I don't think, anyway. And then adding in the beams, the lower side and the upper side there. There's some character shadowing going on down there which you can't see. And then there's the global shader, which I've applied myself. Some of this is hand painted. It is pretty much kit bashed, but there's a lot of subtle little additions that I've put in myself, just using my mouse really. This sash originally wasn't shaped like this. I used the liquefy effect to sort of conform it to the legs that we have here already. And that's pretty much kind of it for the kit bashing. To integrate it into the scene, it required some measure of clever trickery here. Now, I chose this background image because it was kind of moody, and the client wanted something like this, but I felt like there needed to be some element of color. Knowing that I've lit it all, this background, I've done my own custom sort of vignette, if you like, and there's some smoke elements that I've put on top, which we can sort of, I guess we can add in here now. So we'll get to the familiar in a bit, but if we bring in our character now, the character shading at the bottom, which you couldn't see before and is there now, that's integrating the character into the scene, and I hand painted in the shadows. Getting the overall look of the character, the lighting had to be spot on with the environment, and I kind of think I've got it pretty much close. So let's move to the familiar. I like to call it a familiar. She likes to call it friend. So here it is. Now this is based on, I've completely forgotten what the creature is called. It's a Star Wars creature, and it's sort of like an ice crystal creature. It's beginning with V, Vulpia or something like that. Oh God, I can't remember. So I didn't want to use an established concept of the creature. I wanted to build it myself, and I couldn't really sort of find any alternative images for it. I only really sort of found one, which is what the lady sent me via email. And so I essentially just broke the source image apart and just kit bashed the skin, the ice crystal sort of skin, onto a heavily liquefied model of a fox. You can see the fox underneath, but as I said, I wanted to sort of bring my own spin to this creature, and I wanted to sort of make it a little bit more realistic. I liked what the concept artist has done with the movie version. I'm assuming it's in a movie or in a game, but I kind of wanted to sort of ground it in a bit more reality, and I figured, well, sure, it can have ice crystal fur, but maybe not all over the place. So perhaps on the underside it's a bit soft, places around his face, perhaps. It's just a sort of concept. Anyway, so if we put all of this together, boom, our background, again, we've seated the creature into the world there. No, is that right? Yep, that's right. So many layers. There we are, really. So that's the final image. I really enjoyed doing this, and I hope that the person I'm doing it for likes it. This is something that's completely different to what I normally do with sketching, but I was so scared of trying to do this via a pencil. I did try to give it a go. It kind of failed, and I felt like, well, if I'm going to do it justice, I really do need to just move on and do it in Photoshop. There it is. I hope you've enjoyed this sort of different spin on artwork and art creation. If you're interested in doing this sort of thing, there are so many tutorials online that you can do to get started. I should have really recorded myself doing this, but I was just on a time schedule. So yes, there it is. I've done it this way. Right, so that's it really. I hope you've enjoyed this little discussion and a little showcase of what I've done. Look out for the next sketch project that's coming up really soon. It's Chandra and Nadia, and yes, it's just around the corner. But until then, take care of yourselves, everyone.